Phillips. I'm a freelance and fine art photographer, and I'm 21 years old. I would say my first introduction to art was definitely creating music. I began as a pianist when I want to say 5 years old, and I've picked up instruments along the way, just kind of adding to my repertoire. Been able to compose some things as a group as well as for my own solo projects, and that just kind of led into a very high stemming of inspiration from visual art such as Kandinsky, Salvador Dali. I was really interested in paintings for sure, and then I found out there was a darkroom photography class at my high school, and it wasn't really an interest of mine at the time. In fact, I didn't really know anything about it, but I had an extra space and I just, in my schedule, and I just thought, you know, let's give it a go. Got instantly hooked, just instantly. I would definitely say, from a broad sense, my art's purpose is geared towards obtaining this goal of world perspective. So I've been really fortunate enough to be able to travel to a lot of locations within and outside of the US, and I find that learning more about people's cultures, the landscapes they live in, and how their environments are affected by human-environmental interaction and such really fuels my work, and I'm just going towards this sort of collection of images that represents feelings that can be translated between cultures and locations, something that we can all have in common, you know? What would my art say about me? It definitely has something to do with being an independent artist, an independent traveler. Keyword there is independent. I find myself in a lot of situations where I see something so beautiful, whether it be a moment or a place, something that just opens up in front of my eyes and gives me this feeling that I just know I need to take a photograph, even if that image isn't fully replicative of that moment to the audience. I need it for myself. It's beyond making money or professionalism. It really just comes down to the raw intention of expressing my feelings and what I'm thinking about, you know. I would honestly say my mother. She knows when I'm screwing up. She lives in a completely different city than me now. I live in Minneapolis. She lives in Milwaukee, but she just knows, because if I'm not excited about something or showing her work or showing my work via social media and whatnot, she just knows that something's up. Yeah, she's always been very encouraging, along with my father, and the more I speak about how excited I am about the work I'm making and my future intentions, the more they want to help me with that or put me towards people that can help me. So what thing inspires my art the most? Movement in general. This is a kind of a new discovery of mine, but I've found that beyond just capturing movement of objects and people and things through the lens, it's more about the physical act of me moving through spaces and traveling and being able to constantly just move forward, not think about the past in a regretful way or a spiteful way, but more of an inspirational way. Think about what I've done in the past and how that's going to fuel how I can be successful in the future. So, kind of an interesting story. I started with 35mm photography, and then after I took that class and experimented with that for a while, I got my first digital point and shoot, and I was super fascinated by the convenience of it. And then after that, I started to gain more technical knowledge as to how to process film correctly, how to get the colors right. And I realized that both the visual qualities that came with film as well as the physical process of handling it, cutting it, scanning it, etc. was very important to my practice, and it felt like it was very cohesive to the ideas that I'm talking about and my goals. And I also found that scanning at such a high resolution actually got me a better image quality than most digital cameras these days. So I'm not necessarily like pro digital, pro analog. I see the light in both for different reasons, and I could see myself going full digital one day, but for now I don't see the quality that I see in the film. Definitely follow the flow. Like I said before, I started as a musician and I'm still a musician, but photography has definitely taken the lead role in my artistic practice recently. Yeah, definitely follow the flow, because if one day you just feel like you have this idea and you want to make a photograph of it, but it's just screaming to you that you want to make a painting, and that exact image needs to be a painting. Make a painting. I don't care if you haven't painted before. You're gonna make that painting and it's gonna be amazing because the idea is amazing. You care about it, so you're gonna take the time to make it good. Yeah.